Welcome back, fight fans. Today, we're looking at the top 10 masters of head movement. Let's get right to it. Number 10, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux is a defensive wizard. His head movement, combined with his footwork, makes him nearly impossible to hit cleanly. He uses subtle movements to slip punches and create angles for his counters. Rigondeaux doesn't waste energy. Every move has a purpose. His ability to control the pace of a fight and frustrate opponents is what makes him one of the best defensive fighters of his generation. Number 9, Wilfred Benitez. Wilfred Benitez was called the Radar because of his incredible ability to sense punches coming. He had some of the best reflexes boxing has ever seen. Benitez's head movement was so sharp, he could dodge punches by a hair's width and stay in position to counter. He became the youngest world champion at just 17 years old, and his defensive skills were a huge reason why. Watching Benitez fight is like watching pure instinct in action. Number 8, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali wasn't just about speed and power. His head movement was legendary. Ali had a unique way of leaning back to avoid punches, almost like he was daring his opponents to try again. He was smooth with it and does it effortlessly. One of his most famous moments was where he used his rope-a-dope strategy to tire his opponents out. Ali's head movement wasn't just defense, it was a key part of his strategy. Number 7, Nicolino Locche. Nicolino Locche, known as the Untouchable, might be the greatest defensive boxer of all time. Watching Locche fight is like watching a magician perform. His head movement was so good, it almost seemed like his opponents were punching air. Locche didn't need to run around the ring. He stayed right in front of his opponents and dodged everything they threw at him. His defensive mastery frustrated opponents and amazed fans. They called him untouchable for a reason. Number 6, Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is a modern master of head movement. Over the years, he's sharpened his defensive skills to the point where it looks effortless. Against some of the best fighters in the world, Canelo has shown he can slip punches, stay in range, and counter with devastating precision. His head movement is so smooth, it feels like he's reading his opponent's mind. Canelo's defense isn't just about avoiding punches, it's about setting traps and taking control of the fight. Number 5, James Toney. James Toney was a master of defense. He used the shoulder roll to deflect punches and combined it with amazing head movement to slip and counter. Watching Toney fight was like watching a chess player in action. He was always a step ahead. His head movement wasn't flashy, but it was effective. He could stand right in the pocket, make his opponent miss, and then fire back with pinpoint accuracy. Toney's style was pure boxing genius. Number 4, Nasim Hamed. Prince Nasim Hamed brought excitement and style to the ring like no one else. He fought with his hands down, daring his opponents to throw punches, and then he'd make them miss with his incredible head movement. Hamed only used head movement even when he got hit, but that's what made him so exciting to watch. His ability to avoid punches and come back with explosive counters made him a true showman. Fans loved him for his confidence and creativity, and his head movement was a big part of what made him a star. Number 3, Tyler Goodjohn. Tyler Goodjohn might not be a household name, but his head movement deserves recognition. In bare-knuckle boxing, where every punch counts, Goodjohn's ability to slip and weave is incredible. He keeps his head moving constantly, creating angles with perfect form and staying just out of reach. His defensive skills allow him to stay calm under pressure and counter effectively. Goodjohn proves that great head movement isn't just for legends. It's a skill every fighter should master. Number 2, Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker head movement was a masterpiece. He would stand right in front of his opponent and make them miss over and over again. Sweet Pea didn't just dodge punches, he embarrassed his opponents in style. His reflexes and defensive skills made him one of the hardest boxers to hit in history. He's a true legend. Watching him fight was like watching a masterclass in defense. Number 1, the one and only Mike Tyson. Tyson wasn't just about power. His head movement was something special. He used the peekaboo style, bobbing and weaving under punches like a wrecking ball in motion. His ability to slip punches allowed him to close the gap and unleash his devastating hooks and uppercuts. Opponents thought they had him lined up, until they didn't. Tyson's head movement wasn't just defense, it was a weapon. It's what made him one of the most feared fighters in history. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Which fighter's head movement impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more boxing content. Thanks for watching.